Hello everyone, my name is Shruti Kumbar and my teammates are Anil Shah and Rutuja Patil. Our topic for presentation is heat island effects. So now we will see what is actually mean by heat island. So absorption of sun's heat into various structures such as buildings, roads and other infrastructures. Nowadays, we can see that in urban areas there are lots of buildings and various structures. So the absorption of heat in that structure is in large amount, forest and water bodies. So as these structures absorbs a lot of heat, so the emission is also in a greater amount. And in urban areas are islands of higher temperature due to huge number of buildings and less greenery. So as we know that in urban areas, the amount of buildings and other structure is more than the number of trees as compared to rural areas. So there is an higher temperature, and that's why it's called as an island. So these pockets of heat are referred to as an heat island. In this image, we can see that at the city area, means at urban areas, there is a dome-like structure which is created by higher temperature of heat, and other area is referred as a greenery area. So in the urban area, the heat is absorbed in the structures and they are re-emitted at the daytime. So that dome is created. So heat islands are usually measured by the temperature difference between the city relative to the surrounding areas. Means between the cities they are measured. There are two types of heat islands. One is the surface heat island. So in this, the heat islands form because of the urban surfaces such as roadways and rooftops absorb and heat and emit heat to a greater extent and most than the most natural surfaces. Means these surface heat islands are created due to the absorption of heat in the roadways and the rooftops, and the surface heat islands tends to be most intense during the day when the sun is shining. So at the daytime, these surface heat islands are more intense because the sun rays are there, and at night time there are comparatively less. Then the second one is atmospheric heat islands. These heat islands form as a result of warmer air in the urban areas compared to the cooler air in the outlying areas, and the atmospheric heat islands vary much less in intensity than the surface heat islands. This we will see in the form of image. So here we can see there is a graph-like structure. There is a surface temperature of daytime and nighttime. Here we can see that the surface temperature at the daytime is much greater than the air temperature. So there is a lot of difference. But at the night times, they don't vary that much because at night times there is no sun rays, and so the absorption and re-emission is not there as compared to the daytime.
Now let us see about causes of heat island. There are many different causes of heat island. One of them is reduced natural landscape in urban areas. It means that trees, vegetation, and water bodies tend to cool air by providing shades. But nowadays, people are cutting down trees, which causes less shades. And due to less amount of shades, there is moisture in the air and the heat increases. Now, the next cause is urban material properties. Conventional human made materials used in urban environments, such as pavements or roofing, tend to reflect less solar energy and absorbs and emit more of the sun heat. So, because of these buildings and all, the more amount of heat is absorbed and the temperature of the ground increases, and this causes to increase of heat in the environment. The third one is urban geometry. The dimensions and the spacing of the buildings within a city influence wind flow and urban materials' ability to absorb and release the solar energy. In cities, there are many more narrow streets and tall buildings, and because of this, the air is blocked and the temperature in that environment is increased. Now, the next cause is heat generated from human activities. Vehicles, air conditioner units, building, and industrial facilities all emits heat into the urban environment. These sources of human generated heat can contribute to heat island effects. Now, the next cause is weather and geography. Calm and clear weather conditions result in more severe heat island effects by maximizing the amount of solar energy reaching the urban surfaces and minimizing the amount of heat that can be carried away. Geographical features can also impact the heat island. Now, let us see this with the help of an example. So, in this diagram, you can see that the sun is radiating some heat. Now, this heat is reflected by the buildings and the surrounding objects in the environment, and it is reflected towards the ground. And along with it, the vehicles also generate heat, and this heat is released into environment. Then the building, air conditioner, and many other factors also absorb heat and later releases the heat in the environment. And all this heat is given out to the environment, and the temperature in the environment rises.
Now see the effect of heat island. First effect, heat island. In this effect, heat islands increase both overall electricity demand as well as peak energy demand. Peak energy demand generally occurs on hot summer weekday afternoons when offices and homes are running air conditioning systems, lights, and appliances. Second effect is elevated emissions of air pollutants and greenhouse gases. In this effect, heat island raises demand of electricity in summer. Companies that supply electricity typically rely on fossil fuel power plants to meet much of the demand, which in turn leads to increase in air pollutant and greenhouse gas emissions. Third one is compromise the human health and comfort. In that effect, heat island contributes to higher daytime temperature, reduces nighttime cooling, and higher air pollution leaves. Sensitive populations such as children, older adults, and those with exciting health conditions and are particularly at risk during these events. And last effect is impaired water quality. In this effect, high temperatures of pavements and rooftop surface can heat up stormwater runoff, which drains into storm sewer temperature as it is released into streams, rivers, ponds, and lakes. Water temperature affects all aspects of aquatic life, especially the metabolism and reproduction of many aquatic species. Now, see the strategy to overcome all these effects. First one, increasing tree and vegetative cover. Second one is installing green roofs and reflective roofs. Next one is using cool pavements. And last one is utilizing smart growth practices. This was all about the heat island effect. Thank you.